What we're gonna discuss right now is about the video documentary that we're gonna do, or that we want to do, pertaining to the moon. Only about the history of the moon, of the plans to go to the moon, colonize, and all of that. Since when we found out about that, the history in a chronological order of the things that we did. So there's the video that we did, that's in 2012 in Quebec City. But what I noticed is that in the video we do not show the document that we presented there. So we have to get that document. We want to do the video sort of like an ongoing documentary up to the point of where we want to do this walk to go to Manhattan, to the United Nations, to bring this issue to that level, and just to attempt to try to get people aware of it. So we want to plan on going to New York on April 29th, I believe it was. The new moon. The new moon, anyways, the end of April. Of course, a lot of people will not believe or even understand the moon teachings. So what we need is hard science as to, from within the current understandings of everybody, as to why the moon should not be touched. So there's research you have to do, like to give like a direct connection to the tidal pull and the pull that the moon has on all the waters on the earth, and then to show like what would be the effects if we then altered the mass of the moon, how that would affect everything on earth, the water. Another thing that I have to do is look into helium here on earth. So we have to stop referencing without having those statistics.
On a note, really no one could be very useful in that, because she's very knowledgeable about nuclear and reactors and everything.
Yeah, well, that would be everybody's responsibility who's involved in this project to expand it to others, like if they want to participate and help us. Oh, about the helium. We have to do this proper research as to the chemical compound of helium here on Earth and what it does. Articles about how helium is being depleted here on Earth. They identified that helium itself, like as an element, doesn't do anything. It's a catalyst for other elements, but only under certain temperatures, certain sub-freezing temperatures. Then helium acts like on the microscopic level as like an oil, almost like a lubricant, to assist other elements from say begin to start interacting. So helium here on Earth, it's like a lubricant that makes them begin to work. So what I say is that helium here on Earth is for when the Earth is in ice ages. When it's in an ice age, that helium assists the Earth to waking up, where otherwise, without it, the Earth may be like in a lethargic stage, unable to get up without that helium, I mean. And so helium here on the Earth is being depleted, so we have to make that connection to the helium on our grandmother moon. The chemical compounds, how they interact. Is helium-3 able to take the place of just helium here on Earth, or is there a helium that's equivalent on the moon? Anyways, we have to do all that kind of research to complete the picture.
And linked to that, there's this thing that I forwarded to you about NISA, talking about cold fusion. See more the motivations, because so far we know there's helium-3, we're not stupid, we know that they're going there for that, but what is it that they're going to do?
Whoever's doing the research on in any of these areas, even if you see something or recognize something, say a little bit beyond that perimeter, outside of that scope of what you're researching, even if you see that, then research it and see if there is a further. Each of us, at one point, we'll all sit in a circle, like you say, like maybe you'll film yourself at your place, identifying as to the reason that you are involved in this particular video project, this project about the moon and what we're doing. Each of us will have to do that to draw our personal connection, make the thing personal for us. Mary Claude spoke to I forget who the guy was in the UN.
Marcus Walker.
Yeah, and he assured her, no, you don't got to worry about any of this kind of stuff. The same way that they did to us in the video in Quebec City in 2012.
Marcus Walton, so people know, it's the UNUSA guy. February 2016, I called him up and I had him on the phone. We've got the recording of him and just asking him some simple question, and very soon we see into the call that he's not feeling good. Like last week announced that he's leaving UNUSA. It'd be interesting that to maybe follow him, trying to do what he's doing, or I don't know, try to get in touch with him via Facebook or something, because he might have some information for us. And
I looked for his name the other day, and I found a document that is called UN Spider, and it's about how they are using what we see in the Congress, how they are using all of the satellites up there to say we are taking care of like natural disasters and everything, but it's just like to create a networking of like knowing exactly where everything is.
yeah.
And he was presenting it because it was a PowerPoint presentation that I found as a document with the guy from Quebec.
Look,
So they work together. So I mean, or work together. So if we cannot get in touch with Wolfman, maybe Nick Santiago could help.
because what's interesting, this guy works in the director's office directly for UNU. So anyways, he seems to be very, very closely working with the director. Also, his last communication to us was that he brought it to the highest level at UNUSA. Our voice, basically, what we think we should be questioned and challenged, and we should all stop this nonsense. So anyway, so there's just on that one guy, there's a lot to say.
So all the information right now that we have, like Mary Cole's telephone conversations with the people in the different, like in the UN and in the World Court, those things are going to be, if they're not already online, they will all be put online. All the information that we got, it'll all be there, so each of us can go over it and look at it, and in our own minds we'll be able to like imagine what this complete documentary will look like. We got about a month and a half now, because the walk is going to begin on April 29th, the new moon in April, the end of April. So I'm only planning on doing that walk maybe about 3 days to 5 days max. I don't want to spend any more than that on it. So it's not a walk all the way. It's a walk partial way, just to get people's attention in the along the way. So everybody work to whatever degree that you can. So anyways,
one thing maybe to add, that last time I was here, that you mentioned, and I really like the focus that brought to me anyways, to actually see that our efforts, the contacts that we make, we can actually make an inventory of people actually not getting involved, even following the information sent. So on my side, I contacted the Mayor Labaume from Quebec City. I've got an email, an official email from them saying, oh, we don't deal with that, we only deal with federal and provincial issues, which was pretty funny. But anyway, everybody that we contact through that, we should keep the emails, and we should forward that major email that we copied to the White House to them. Because I think the strength of that email, the latest email that we sent, is that now nobody can hide. Everybody are in that email. They cannot say, oh, I didn't receive it, whatever. Everybody's sort of witnessing, and they're sort of part of the answer, one and the other one.
Yeah. So the more that all of us tries to get people and official bodies, organizations, schools, communities, the more you try to get those people involved, the better picture we have of once people say no, that they don't want to get involved, then the better picture we have as to what we are fighting against. And whatever else you can think of about in relation to the moon, everybody do the research as much as you can. So I guess think of anything else? Get to work.